So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, villains, and welcome to a Champions League edition of Team Sheet Tantrum, PSV versus Aston Villa. I know I don't sound like I'm excited, but I'm genuinely like a child at Christmas time because I can't wait to see what the team is going to be like tonight or what team he's going to name for this momentous occasion, Paddy. How are you feeling about it?
Strangely enough, I'm completely relaxed. As I've said to you before, this is just a treat at the end of what has been an amazing run. And I'm trying not to get too high or too low. No doubt, inefficient referee from Italy might change that later on. But for the moment, I think this is just something that needs to be treasured and enjoyed because we're privileged to be here, and it's absolutely amazing. Never ever take it for granted to hear our boys standing there for that anthem. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, me neither. And yeah, I hope, as I say, I did a walk and talk this morning just because I woke up this morning brimming with joy, brimming with hope and optimism and everything about this game today. And it was like I did have a dream last night where Villa drew 1-1 and John McGinn scored. If that comes true tonight, it might be worth a sneaky fiver. But if that comes true tonight, I think I'll be really happy. But it's consumed my thoughts, over the last 48, 72 hours. And that's the beauty about being a football fan. When something like this means so much, you've been following a team all your life and you get this big, big moment, it means an absolute ton. And do you know what? Do you know why it means an absolute ton, Paddy? Is because we're going into a Lions Den tonight. But I feel that this team can meet the moment. It's a big moment. I feel they can meet it. They've done it when the chips have been down 9 times out of 10. Okay, we can talk about games they should have won that they didn't win, that they went in and that they lost. But in the Champions League this season, when the shit was about to hit the fan, it never quite got there. And someone stopped it from splattering all over the walls.
I'm not too worried about as you say, it is a cauldron of noise. It is a really old-fashioned stadium, but a great place to watch sport. I've never actually been in it. My father has been in it watching rugby. I've many friends who've been there watching PSG. It is noisy, it is loud, but so is Villa Park on a European night, so they'll have to run the gauntlet next week. But for now, what we need to look around at the faces in the dressing room and see who are the cool heads, who are the experienced heads. Obviously, Rashford, Asensio, Torres, Martinez. The list goes on and on of internationals who have faced this, people who have played Champions League football before. They know exactly what they're going into here. They're well protected. There's no danger. It's just cool heads and warm hearts we need tonight. Don't need any stupid yellow cards. We need to be still in the game by the time the full-time whistle goes. And by that, it's just to give an occasion to the people who are going next week just to have fun and enjoy what has been an absolutely momentous run to the last 8 in Europe. It's just still, no matter how often I say it, I just get goosebumps thinking about it because I dreamed of it for so long, like 43 years since we've been at this occasion.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of Paddy. We do a small bit of admin here. I like Alistair. But don't be doing that, Pat. Alistair, don't be doing that to us at all. Robert Olsen starts. He says, no, maybe he does, but we'll find out in a couple of moments' time. But don't be putting the heart crossways in the babby, as they say here in Ireland. And we do have a team sheet, and it is out. And Alistair, you've been rumbled because he doesn't start, and our team is out. And it's not the team that I predicted, but it is pretty close to the team that most people would have predicted. Martinez in goals, Cash, Konza, Pau, and Digne, McGinn, Kamara, Tielemans, Ramsey, Rodgers, and Rashford. So he goes with Rashford up top with Ollie Watkins on the bench. The bench is made up with Olsen. Sam Proctor makes the bench. Good. Do you know what? Nice to see that for the guy, you know, the hero of the shootout for the Youth Cup semi-final. So we've got Proctor, Mings, Disasi, Matson, Bogard, Onana, Barkley, Asensio, and Watkins. Excellent stuff. Like, can't disagree with that team, I suppose. I absolutely see why Ramsey is in that team, to run back and create a defense and to be a defensive unit there with Digne. That's why he's in there. You can get him off after 60 minutes. You can bring in Watkins. You can shove out Rashford. You can bring on Matson, maybe just play him in there, those two left backs. You can bring on Asensio, push Rodgers out, who I'd imagine would be playing more centrally here, put Rodgers out that left-hand side. You've oodles of options there. And another thing that just slipped my mind as we were going down through the subs, Ross Barkley makes his return to the bench. So great to see Ross Barkley in there. There was a couple of things we had heard with regards to why he was out, and we don't break news here, and we don't know if it's true, so I'm not going to peddle in it here. But good to see him back is all I will say, based on some of the rumors that were out there. Great to see him back. Yeah,
absolutely. By my reckoning, Neil, you got one wrong with the starting lineup, and I got one wrong.
I did. Ramsey, I
went for Asensio, but I went for Rashford. But you went for no Asensio, but you went for Watkins.
Like Watkins up top and Rashford from the left. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. But look, that's a fucking fantastic team. That's a fantastic team to have out there. And we're going to look at the PSG team now in a moment. But like we should be damn proud of that team. That's like you might say, oh, I would have started Asensio. I think at this stage we can all see the method and the madness about bringing him on with 30 minutes to go, tired legs, getting into those spots, snapshots in the box. Brilliant asset to have. For all the lack of form that Ollie Watkins has, Leon is back. For all the lack of form that Ollie Watkins has at the moment, he is, you could bring him on and 20 minutes later he's holding the ball up, he lays the ball off, he gets an assist in for somebody running onto the ball. We have these options from the bench, and you've got Onana that can come in there to shore things up. You've got Disasi that can come in to shore things up. You've got Tyrone Mings come in there and offer leadership. Let's say we're in dreamland all together and we're doing an Arsenal and we're 3-0 up, and we've 20 minutes to go or 15 minutes left, and you bring on Tyrone Mings and you go 5 at the back and you go, right, lads, let's keep this pretty solid. So it's highly unlikely. But the options are there to do whatever the hell you want with that bench. That's what I love about it. And that's what I love about the starting lineup too.
Yeah, hard to disagree with anything there. The one thing that just jumps off that team sheet to me, and just a little bit of a sweetener, that we've got 2 homegrown Midlands players in that attacking midfield, and it's just the icing on the cake, because you look at the homegrown players that were in that Arsenal team last night. There always needs to be a sprinkling of them in there, and we've got 2 players who were born 10 miles from Villa Park. So in this day and age, I think that's worth calling out. We mentioned the cool heads and the warm hearts. We don't need an Emi Martinez diving on the ball and holding on to it for too long tonight. We're going to need to utilize the long ball from time to time, and that's why I think Rashford is in there. I heard that was talking to the PSG guy last night.
Oh, he's Villa guy. Yeah. He's a Parisian Villa fan.
Yeah.
Quinton.
But he was talking about the long ball isn't the forte of the replacement centre half. So that's why Rashford is there, if that's correct. So that's one we'll be looking out for this evening, I'd say.
Yeah, but he actually said it's not the forte of this team in general. Regardless of whether it's the replacement centre half, regardless of whether Marquinhos was there, he felt that was not the forte of this team, because they do in Ligue 1, they do commit their fullbacks very far up, and it almost becomes a fight. Like, they almost become 2 extra strikers, and it's the 2 centre halves are tasked with doing a lot of work. it's up to Villa to keep them honest and not allow Hakimi to go up and not allow Mendes to go up on the left hand side. The way you do that is you put a couple into the channels for Rashford, and you have McGinn break his absolute nuts to run straight through the centre, and for Rashford to put one in there and nearly catch McGinn with a cross, or like my dream, catch McGinn with a cross. McGinn side foots it into the back of the net. That's how you keep PSG honest. You can't go here scared. You can go here measured, but you can't go here scared either at the same time, because you have to be willing to run those channels. You have to be willing to commit bodies at times here. You just have to be, because otherwise you're just going to be soaking up pressure and you're at the mercy of a mistake. And I don't think I'd like us to be going 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 down, going back to Villa Park, and if it's mistakes that cost us. I don't think any fan would like that, for sure.
This is always something that an aimless scroller like me will do. Boubacar Kamara is wearing a Russian wedding ring. Is that what you'd call it? The 3 intertwined wedding rings? They were a big thing in Ireland in the 90s, from what I remember. You probably don't remember, Neil, but I actually had one myself.
When I get married, we had this conversation. I'm glad you just tie a piece of string around my finger. I'm not a jewellery man whatsoever. I feel everything just feels uncomfortable on me. Bar a watch, which I wear for maybe about 4 weeks and then need to take off for a week. But so not my thing. Not my thing. Backwards baseball caps, as people were mentioning, they're my thing. When we first started the podcast, you used to wear a backwards baseball cap the whole time. So I'm just bringing it back.
When you were on your own, you always wore it.
I always wore the backwards baseball cap. Yeah. I was doing this before it was cool, even before Bart Simpson nearly. Anyway, let's see if we have the PSG team. And Japers, I don't know what's going on here now. I'm after making up pure balls on my screen because I was zooming in and zooming out, and it's an awful big size. I feels like something my father would have. Big, massive text. PSG, would you like to have your team on? No. See, gamesmanship again. Don't have their team up on Twitter, but it's all right. We get it on. We get it. Paris, Saint Germany.
I'm trying to write up the Villa team here, by the way.
Absolutely. And for whatever reason, this bloody won't. There we go. Have it here now. So I will share up my screen here. So their team is Donnarumma, Hakimi, Beraldo, Pacho, Mendes, Neves, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz. Desiree Doué comes in instead of Bradley Barcola. He's a brilliant player, but that is a surprise to me. Ousmane Dembele plays up top, and Cava then plays on the left-hand side. They've got Barcola. I wonder is Barcola even on the bench? Let's take a little look. So on the bench, they've got Safanov, Tennis, the goalkeeper. They've got Kipembe, Lucas Hernandez, Lee Kang-in, Senu Mealu, Warren Zaire-Emery, who's just a class player, Gonzalo Ramos, Bradley Barcola, and Ibrahim Mbaye make up their bench as well. So, are
you sure that's correct? Because the man we've been calling
confirmed
Lee Keegan is out injured, as far as I know, for a while.
No. My good friend Canton just interviewed yesterday. He reliably informed me that Kagan is in.
Okay,
that is it. It's confirmed lineup. Yeah, confirmed lineup.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I like put it this way, right? Let's call spades here. Let's call shovels here as well. You look at their bench and you look at our bench. We have a better bench than Paris Saint-Germain.
We do.
They have some better players than we have on our bench, but overall, from one to whatever on our bench, we've a more senior bench. We've a bench that arguably, I suppose, can affect the game a small bit more. So it's interesting. Really, really interesting. See, just once again, I don't want us to undersell how bloody good our squad is at the minute, and how much of an opportunity we potentially have today. But opportunities are only as good as those who take them. And if an opportunity presents itself today, we need to take it. And the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm I'm talking about it, the more I'm getting kind of giddy about it, and the more I just want the game to be on in the next 5 minutes so we can see what comes from it. Because it's nervy, but it's nice nerves to have, going into a quarterfinal and seeing the team that they have out. It's a bloody formidable first 11. Jesus, there's some really good players out there. But at the same time, they've got a replacement centre half. He's a good centre half, Beraldo, but he's a replacement centre half. They've got Desiree Doué in there. He's a good player, but he's not Bradley Barcola good. Arguably. I know there's people who will sit down and have an argument over that, and that's fine. But Bradley Barcola is one of the best, has been one of the better players, one of the standout players in France this year. Desiree Doué arguably has been one of the standout young players, but I would have Barcola in there over him. Aston Villa are going to Parc des Princes tonight, guys, with a really, really good team. And whatever happens with regards to the with regards to the result tonight, we have the squad, we have the 11, we have the 20 players there. They can have an effect in this game. Now, whether they do or not is up to them. And Jesus, yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I disagree with you on the Barcola thing. I think he's an average player. I think Doué is a better player. People might not agree with me, but this is too.
French national manager won't agree with you either.
Who?
The French national manager won't agree with you either.
Yeah, this is two heavyweight teams going together. It's going to come down to how well we handle the press and how well we handle the attention of those three strikers, because they are going to give our defence a torrid time when we have the ball and an even more torrid time when we don't have the ball. So fingers crossed that we're completely tuned in. Nothing stupid, not conceding from the first goal. Let's just drag the arse out of this, frustrate the hell out of them and their fans, and try and get back to Villa Park within touching distance, because we have to believe that we can go to Villa Park and do anything to anybody. So fingers crossed we can stay within enough of a distance to do some damage next week. But I'm not confident we can go and get a win. I'm not even really confident we can get a draw. But if we can get out of here between, I'm going to say, a 1-0 or a 2-1, I think we've still got a huge chance to go and beat them at home. But just taking everything into consideration, I'm going to go with a 2-1 defeat. I don't normally do it, but I think that's just my defense mechanism of dealing with the heartache that comes afterwards. And if you were to offer me a 2-1 defeat, or even a 2-0 defeat, I would probably accept it now. Now, I could change my mind the minute the match kicks off and see how well we're doing. It's going to be one hell of a game of chess. But hand me something that we can manage when we get back to Villa Park, and I'll be very, very happy by 10 o'clock tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's the name of the game. And I think that's the honest conversation that's going on in the dressing room. Guys, you're you've every bit all the ability to go out here and to win a game, to win this game tonight. Like, actually, I'm gonna. I know I've been doing a lot of pontificating in this podcast, but it's because I'm excited. And look, let a man be excited. Aston Villa play against Man City. They play against Liverpool. They play against Arsenal. They play against teams like Newcastle, who've been really good this season. Chelsea in the past. We play against the best teams, arguably, or some of the best teams, the top 5 teams in Europe. We will play against 4 of them or 3 of them every single year. And since Unai Emery has been here, we've gotten results against some of the best teams in Europe. You reverse back 12 weeks ago, and I know momentum is huge, and I know teams grow together, and I know teams grow through competitions, and this PSG team has. You go back 12 weeks ago, people wouldn't have been talking about PSG in the same breath as Liverpool, but they beat Liverpool, and that's absolutely catapulted them into the conversation. But Aston Villa play against Liverpool the whole time. We get our asses handed to us sometimes. Sometimes we put results against them, and sometimes we beat them 7-2. And what I'm saying here is that, when we come up against big teams, and I know that wasn't under Unai Emery, when we come up against big teams like Man City, Leon Bailey coming up with the goods in that one, Ollie Watkins scoring against Arsenal, we have a game in us. We have a game in us when people least expect it. and we have a game on us against the bigger team. It's against the teams we're expected to beat that we drop our standards. But it's against the teams that we're not expected to beat. The Bayern Munich's, Juventus we should have beaten with a goal chalk off that was a goal. I know it was squirty and it was in the last minute, but the scalp Juventus, it was a goal. I'm bloody excited about this. You know, everybody's built PSG up to be this juggernaut, and they may go and steamroll Aston Villa tonight. They absolutely may do that. But this team, in their hearts and in their minds and in sports psychology point of view, will look at, they will pin things up and go, is this PSG team very much so better than Liverpool? Is this PSG team very much so better than an Arsenal team that beat Real Madrid 3-0 last night? And we've gone out and beaten it over the last 12 months. Is it better than the all-conquering Man City team when they were on top of their game last December, and we went and beat them 1-0? And that's a debate that everybody can have, but they know they've gotten these results. And I think that is the dressing room talk tonight. You have 90 minutes in you, and you can get results against anybody over 90 minutes. So go out there and put that 90 minutes in.
I agree with you what you're saying about the experience of playing against them big teams. And look, we've turned over. We've got results against Liverpool. We've got results against Arsenal. We've got results against Manchester City. We've hammered Chelsea out the door on occasion. PSV for years have been relying on the Champions League to give them that experience. I do believe this team is a lot more well-rounded than the teams that we've been looking at, the Galacticos, over the years. So it is going to be tough. But the experience of those games will stand to us. That's 6-8 games a year where you're really up against it and you're back to the wall. We can pull this off. We definitely can pull it off. It just depends on a little bit of luck and cool heads and warm hearts, as we said. It's not going to be easy. Please don't have a meltdown if we don't come out the right way out of this. We've come. I don't think anybody envisaged we were getting this far. Some people may have joked and jested that we were going to the final and stuff like that. If we get through this, it will be absolutely phenomenal. And you know what the best part of all this is? There is kids from Botafogo to Ballahadreen know who Aston Villa are tonight. And it's just unbelievable that here is our club on the periphery of greatness, and every kid in the world is going to be looking at that majestic name on the shirt tonight and up on the top of the screen, and it's going to know all our players. And that, you can't buy that. You can't buy it throughout the world. And for years and years to come, we're going to be talking about these days as the good old days. So enjoy them.
Absolutely. And based on that, Paddy, based on me revving myself up, my Aston Villa can beat anyone on any given day, and based on what you've just said there, I'm changing. My premonition last night was a 1-1. If that is right, I'm eating goat's cheese before every single match, because that could be the mystic powers that I need. I'm going for Aston Villa to win 2-1 tonight. Fuck it, why not? You get no prizes for being right, or you get no prizes for being wrong. But I like to pride myself in being Mr. Optimistic about Aston Villa. And I should have said this. I should have known this before the podcast ever turned on. The biggest night in recent European history for Aston Villa. I need to be optimistic. It wouldn't suit me if I wasn't. 2-1 Aston Villa. John McGinn and Rashford are going to score, and there will be conga lines down the Champs-Elysees later on, around the Arc of Triumph and all the way back up again. And Aston Villa, as you said, their name will be further than the wonderful Amazonian forests that are in Ballahadreen in Mayo, Paddy. They'll be heard of further. There'll be a rapturous roars and applause from the penguins down in Antarctica, all the way up to the polar bears up in the North Pole. And as I say, it's look, a win for Aston Villa tonight absolutely opens the eyes of the world, and a win next week opens the eyes of the universe, the footballing universe, to Aston Villa. And why the fuck not? Just go and grab it with both arms and take it home with you. Rob it, steal it, whatever you've got to do. Come out of the Parc des Princes tonight being hated by the Parisians, and let come back like heroes to B6. Come back like heroes to Birmingham, and finish off the job next week. Aston Villa 2-1 winners tonight versus PSG. Let's go and do it.
Before you wrap things up, want to give a big shout out to a guy who has just messaged me, who I've been waiting on all day to message me. He got a bit of a sucker punch last night and was knocked out on the streets of Paris, and he spent the night in hospital. He's just messaged me saying that he's on a train to the stadium watching our podcast. So he's signed himself against the doctor's orders. He signed himself out of hospital because he's not missing this. So James, I'm sure all your family knows what happened now. So I'm just leave it at James, but be careful, mind yourself, and take it easy up there tonight, and no jumping around with the concussion, because we all know that's absolutely madness what you're doing. But the minute you messaged me to say you were signing yourself out, I just looked in the mirror and went, yeah, I'd do the exact same thing. We've waited a long time for it.
Absolutely, yeah. And go enjoy yourself. Go enjoy yourself tonight, James, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Where's Michael Huggins? Michael Huggins is asking for a shout out for his son watching in Rio. There you go. Hopefully he's over there on a scouting mission, Michael, sending back notes and all the best 14, 15-year-old Brazilian superstars over there to the lads in Bodymore. That would be absolutely excellent. So best of luck to him, or best. I hope he gets to sit down and watch it, as Paddy said. If he was in Botafogo, he'd be able to watch it, according to Paddy anyway. So that's great to see.
Might not get it in Ballahadreen though.
No. And I've been reliably informed that Ballahadreen is in Roscommon, which it actually, but they're playing the Mayo Championship, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, we won't get into county boundaries and parish boundaries there, because we'll be all year with that one, checking out birth certs and graveyards and everything like that to find out where's where and who's who. Anyway, let's get your predictions in, lads. Get your predictions in here, and we'll do a quick rundown down of this one. I have my optimism has actually cured the pain that I've had in my teeth all day as well. I've had really, really bad toothache all day, and that rush of blood to the head that I got there, the kind of rush of adrenaline that I got thinking about Villa winning, has actually cured it. So let's get your results in there, and we'll go down through those. As always, we will be back with a team sheet tantrum. While you're putting, actually, guys, because I'm useless at this crack, we do have a sponsor, as you saw previously on the preview show. Let me play a little something from NordVPN, just with regards to an exclusive offer they've given us. I forgot to do it earlier on in the show because I am useless at this. While you're putting in your scores, and we'll be back in the next 60 seconds. All right, lads and lasses, let's take a quick break from all things Villa and talk about something every football fan needs. And that's keeping your online game as tight as Ezri Konsa's man marking. And that's where NordVPN comes in. Whether you're streaming the match on Wi-Fi at the pub or checking the latest transfer gossip without your boss clocking it, NordVPN's got your back. It's dead simple. It encrypts your connection, hides your IP, and lets you sidestep those geo-blocks so you can watch the footy from anywhere. Imagine seeing Asensio crack one in the top corner versus PSG in 4K from one of Nord's 7,400 servers in 118 countries. Just change your virtual location easily, no buffering and no hassle. I use it myself, so it's a no-brainer to go get an exclusive NordVPN discount of up to 74% plus 4 extra months when you sign up to 1 year or 2 year plans at www.nordvpn.com/FTLoPM. The link is in the description, so go click on it now and sign up and help us here for the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. So head to www.nordvpn.com/FTLoPM, sign up and keep your online moves safer than Emi Martinez's goal during the penalty shootout. Cheers to NordVPN, and now let's get back to all things wonderful about Unai Emery's Aston Villa. Up the Villa! Now, thanks a million to NordVPN. They've jumped on for short term, and hopefully it'll be long term. But thanks a million if anybody is in the market for a good VPN. And I know that they sponsor quite a lot of other podcasts, but if you guys are interested in the VPN and you choose to use our code, it does help the podcast as well. So thanks a million for that. Let's do the roundup of the scores. I must do a jingle for that as well. So Kibbles is going for 2-2 tonight, and then to hit him hard in Villa Park, Osgerm is going for 2-0. C. Lion is going for 1-0. Bladner is going for 9-1 Villa. Peter Beadle is going for 3-2 to Villa. 4-2 says Fuzz the Duck. Seeking says 2-1 to Villa. 2-1 Villa says Jay. 2-2 says Junior. Flange is going 2-2 or 2-1 Villa. Mick Ducati is going for 1-1. Jordan Levy's going 2-1 Villa. 3-2 Villa says Rich. 2-1 Villa, says Michael Huggins. 2-0 Villa, says Max Hunter, and he's going for Ramsey and Rogers. Ronan Ward's going for the 1-1. He had the same dream as me. Jonathan Kinsley's going for 2-1. 1-0 to the Villa, says Salubrious. P.T. O'Connor says 1-1. John Griffin is going 1-0. Sai's going for 2-1 to PSG, and Joe Barana is going 2-0 Villa. Matty Hawkins is going 1-0 to Villa. 2-1 to Villa. Kevin says Carrie. Kevin is going for 3-2 to Villa. Debbie is going for 2-0. Where are we? 3-0, says Andy Hiley. PSG 1, Aston Villa 2, says PD. James Frankham is going for 1-1. Shane Coleman's going for 0-0. I'll take that. Sir Garrett's going for 0-0 as well. 4-2, says Greg, and 1-1, says Kat Cannon. Michael O'Brien is going for 1-0 to Villa. Teep is going 2-1 to Villa. Paul S is going 7-1 to Villa. Bear in the Garden is going 1-1, and Jake Aston Villa is going for 2-1 to Villa. David O'Dwyer says 1-1, and Shane O'Hare says 1-1 too. 3-3 says Igil 1982. Rayleigh says 2-0. Octopus Prime, brilliant name, says 1-0. David Dam says 1-1. Should I say David Dam says 1-0 to Villa. Stephen Wright is saying 1-1. 3-1 to PSG, says Kieran O'Callaghan. 4-1 to PSG, says Akash. Michael Richards is going for 2-2. Marzi's going for 0-0. And 2-0, says Matthew Maguire with Carly. C. Sully is finishing up with 2-1. Colin Smith going 2-0. Black Country Villa going for 1-1. Aaron Cunningham going for 2-1. And Noel Connaughton wants to know if that was Unai ringing you, Paddy, to see what you made of the team. I was going to make a Harry Redknapp deadline day joke about you being on the phone, but and Anne O'Grady says I sound like a racing commentator. I've said this before, but there are old cassette tapes of me talking into a radio pretending to be a horse racing commentator, and they are out there. So if I ever make it famous, they are for sale to the highest bidding newspaper. And I think you're still on mute, Paddy.
I always thought you'd make one of those guys, you know, the guys who do the marts.
Yeah, I'd do that. I'd be on Storage Wars Ireland, like that, you know, the fellas who bid for the unused lockers or lockers that people haven't paid for and are full of their worldly possessions. Do that, yeah. If there's anybody out there looking for somebody to be a empty storage lot or an unpaid storage lot auctioneer, I'll do that all day long for sure. Excellent. So, guys, look, we're 47 minutes away from kickoff. This is one to be savoured. I hope where you are in the world it's as sunny as it is here in Ireland. Hence the baseball cap. I'm backwards. I'm an awful man for getting the back of my neck burnt and then feeling like shite the next day. And with a big day for me coming up in 10 days' time, I don't want to be getting sunstroke because I've got too much to do. But I am going to get out into the sun. I'm going to get myself a cold beer. I bought a box of Pringles to eat during the match tonight, and I'm already halfway down through them, so I might have to get auxiliary Pringles because the nerves are at me, and I comfort eat when the nerves get at me like that. So I'm going to go in and enjoy my build-up to this. Going to be parked in front of the TV for about 1:15, and I'm going to soak in what should be a brilliant game, preceded by that wonderful national anthem, wonderful Champions League anthem that we so longingly looked for over the last 40 odd years, and we get to hear it again tonight in one of the biggest settings in European football. So Paddy, have you any words to say before we finish up?
No, just enjoy it, drink it in. We might never see these days again, so there's people who are watching this game tonight that will never see us play Champions League football again for whatever reason. So enjoy every minute, because we all know life is too short. We just spoke about James, who could have been a whole lot worse last night. So we're all only one bad decision of somebody away from that. So look out for each other, mind each other, but most of all, drink this in and enjoy every minute, because that's what I'm going to do tonight. Excellent.
Everybody, I hope you enjoy the game tonight. Watch it, and as Paddy said, drink it in. But most of all, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will be back bang on the final whistle. Come back and join us again. And all that's left to say is up the Villa and their European journey tonight.
Up the Villa.
And I've no outro set, of course. Up the Villa again. Bye-bye.
Good.